I'm not sure.
Haven't met.
Okay, is that what the mayor's gonna be? Since you got done, so quorum is there. First item on the agenda was approve our August 31st meeting minutes. Do I hear a motion to approve the last meeting minutes?
So that's been read the
Okay,
minutes.
is there a
It
second?
looked good to me.
Any discussion? All say, if you approve, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion approved. Okay, in terms of the, our agenda itself, we're gonna have a little change in in terms of order. In this case here, first in the agenda is gonna be, in this case, we'll be talking about the Georgia Purple Heart. And, we wanna go ahead with that, and we can talk a little bit about what is going on here. So go ahead.
Several months ago, Tracy has asked me, she's the president of the DOA, asked me about, and she said, you know, it's nice weekly. Open hearts. The people down in Mountain City. I said, it would be the most prestigious honor we could ever have to name a Purple Heart City. We have 3 Purple Heart recipients in the city. And that means a lot, but the main thing that we look at is honoring those men and women that did not come back. I mean, I'm the lucky one that I can sit here and talk with you. But there's so many young men that many of you probably knew or heard about. We've got veterans here in the city, and this is just gonna be a way for the city to honor not only the recipients that come through here, but also those families, those Gold Star families, and it's just, it would be very meaningful. And I started on this mission, it was like, I gotta find out how we can best do this, and it's, the qualifications are pretty simple. And it basically comes down to we fly a Purple Heart flag on August the 7th, which is Purple Heart Day. And on Purple Heart Day, we light up the city hall with purple lights. And we fly a Purple Heart flag. I have procured this flag. Mayor, I'll give it to you.
Okay. I'll be Vanna White.
Yeah, that's pretty,
Very nice.
that's great.
It's gorgeous, Bruce.
And I have a stand I'll bring it down, but I thought it would be nice if we could have that in here next to the American flag, because we will be a Purple Heart city.
Notice his shirt too, y'all.
Yeah.
I have a wardrobe of Purple Heart.
Very royal.
Unfortunately, I have a wardrobe. I just think that what we're gonna do is next week, contacted the DOT, and they will look at where we can place signage here. And that will look like Purple Heart City. And then that special recognition. On October the 17th, the mayor is going to do a proclamation. It'll be effective then. And we will be declared a Purple Heart City. And Jason has put together a very nice proclamation. That looks great. And then on October the 22nd, as you guys probably know, what's going on in the clubs. Troy, huh? What's going on the 22nd?
Is that the fall fest?
It's 21st.
Oh.
I'm giving it a
That's the going home party of it.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
yeah, I was thinking the fall festival, that's the
Yeah.
21st.
Yeah, it's 21st, but
Good comeback.
yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be nice if we had those signs, but I don't know if it'll happen by then.
No, I mean, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and email, if the mayor is okay, I'll go ahead and email them with this proclamation. We can just make it official on the 17th. And I've already talked with our contact with GDOT, and what they'll do is we have to basically give them photos. Like, we'll just go to our city limit signs, down the mountain, hit the state line, on Bald Mountain, Mud Creek, and even down on our Southern Road Evergreen. They have to approve that, and then we have to get those signs through them. I don't know what those costs are. I'm just going to roundabout estimate $1,000 for 5 signs. I know Bruce said that there may be some folks that may want to help contribute with that cost, but we will definitely get the ball rolling on that. I've got a contact with GDOT that hopefully she can kind of help expedite that, but we'll get that going as soon as we can, but that's where we're at. And then we'll see about, also, we're also looking at adding 2 flagpoles here at City Hall. So we can fly the Georgia flag and the city flag, but we can also fly on August 7th, we can fly the Purple Heart flag on that day where the city flag would go.
So on October the 22nd, of course, is the going home party. And part of that program, the mayor will do, we'll have a representative here from the Military Order of the Purple Heart that will present us basically and say, okay, yes, you are now proclaimed a Purple Heart City. And so it's going to become part of the program. I'll have a few words to say. Ed's uncle was killed in the Battle of the Bulge. So just, you think about it. Carol McClendon, her brother died in Vietnam. So you think about how this is going to impact people. And so I just think it's going to be one of the highest honors that we can have. And I'm just glad that it's working this way.
I appreciate all your
Yeah.
hard work.
Thanks for working on that.
Well,
Brett.
here, if we get into the sign cost, and you'll see, I know you said at this point, if in terms of marking it open anyway, there might be funds available for that, so, at this time, you're talking what, Jason, $1,000 for 5 signs?
I'll have to confirm,
Okay,
Lord, but I mean, just knowing what stop signs cost,
okay,
kind of just using that as a baseline, if we get 5 of them. And I'm hoping it's gonna be less than that, but I'm just saying $1,000.
Doesn't GDOT also?
Because we have to get,
For us?
you also have to take into consideration the poles.
Yeah.
Sometimes the poles can be
as much
as much as the signage.
I think this is something, we do have a little extra funds for the end of the year, so if this can happen, I guess we address it at that time. Speak to us.
Well,
I should definitely know, I hope to know.
Okay.
And the POA may be able to help
there's
us.
some POA has said, and we've had individuals that say,
Yeah.
I mean, me too.
Yeah.
That say, whatever it takes, whatever it costs, we'll get it done.
Okay. Any questions, comments at all? Very good. Wow, terrific program. Okay.
I
second
just
item
noticed
on
the other night that there's a Purple Heart sign going into Mountain City,
Yeah.
actually heading towards Clayton.
So they're all over, once you come into Georgia on 95 from Florida, you're gonna see a Purple Heart highway. And so when you start looking for them, you'll see them.
Fantastic. Thank you. Okay, second item on the agenda will be Doug, you're up.
Hey, good morning, everybody. I sent everybody, like I did the day before,
Yeah.
Brian, did you get that?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I just kind of guessed at your email.
Yeah.
You should have got it.
I got back late.
Okay.
Yes,
you-
that's
you-
why I didn't see that.
No big deal. Just want to make sure all the people get everything. You can see up there on the screen, you probably see it, this Golf Central magazine, this is the #1 magazine, some of the stuff we've been in it before. And Sharon, if you can roll over there to 38 and 39, this just came out last week. These are the type things that we have to put in advance to get space that doesn't cost anything, because of our partnership with them. There we go. Just a really nice, and we wanted to do something, with waterfall was, really spectacular, but great article. Mike May wrote it, since Mike does a lot of our writing, so it's different. It's a lot of different things that we do, not just golf here at Sky Valley. So this goes out to both in print and online, to over 100,000 people, media people, companies, golfers, travelers. So this is the type of stuff that people can see and know more about, and things that we can use in the future, but very nice, and we appreciate them. It's nice to have a partnership with them.
It has been uploaded to our visit site as well.
Great, thank you very much.
Well, Mike May was here
Yeah,
with us, and I enjoyed, working with him when he was here, and it's obvious in the article that he really got a good feel for the community.
and he came
The
back.
way he wrote it.
Okay, so he came back.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, brought his girlfriend with him. He was doing some stuff around Georgia, and so we worked it out, and he came back just a few weeks later, and stuff that he does, because Mike does more for me than other people out there, so he loves it. But I actually just talked to Joey, who was one of the guys that was here in May, which I can't believe it's May, but so I said something about talking on the phone, and I said, well, I'm going to Sky Valley. He says, I'm moving to Sky Valley after this summer. I'm moving to Sky Valley. So, I mean, they really got a good impression of this wonderful
I
community.
noticed just a comment on your distribution, you say you reach out to real estate people. What kind of real estate people are receiving this?
Well, it's the people that we have gathered information from emails to all kind of things. So what we do is they do their own print. It goes to a lot of different people. A lot of it in Florida, because they're based out of Orlando. So they reach Florida a lot, but then through our distribution, so we get that, what I sent you, we send it out to our distribution where we can do different things, usually just the Southeast region, which encompasses just a lot of different, not just people, but like I said, companies and real estate people and media people and things like that. So this is where I get a lot of people that say, hey, yeah, we want, media people want to come and see Sky Valley. So certainly we're still plugging that as well.
Good.
All right, Golf Georgia Magazine, which is the official publication of the GSGA. So, and this goes out to all their members. And so the editor and I are good friends, and he does some stuff for me on the side, but the inside back page, which is harder, inside back page, they do which is stood up, not the cover. So it's just we have, we're going to be in the November, December issue. We're going to put hole 15 right here. So, whether it's a signature hole or not, whatever, it's a beautiful hole. So we're working on that, and that will be out late October. So excited about that, and that's just gonna be like a little story for, par 3, 15, Sky Valley Country Club. So, but this goes out to all the members of Georgia State Golf Association, plus other people. So this is a really big deal. Anytime we can get in here, that's great. So, continue doing social media. The 4 guys over here, they do the same thing now that we're kind of, they're familiar with Sky Valley, so they do a lot of social media for us as well. And then I have hired a new social media company to help me out each week. So we're gonna try our best to make sure that we get Sky Valley out on different social media platforms. And so that's gonna be nice. New England Golf Magazine, which consists of 5 states up in New England area, probably the top magazine up there. I think I mentioned on too that we were partners with them. We have a article that will be coming out in the next couple of weeks. I'm not really sure when, but I will send that to y'all. The ladies event that we've been talking about with South Carolina, Georgia GSTA, is going to be October 29th to 30th with the competition. And the author, who's a friend of mine, who wrote about the island mysteries there on Bufusky Island, she's going to be going up here on one of those nights and speaking to everybody who's going to be in attendance. Tried to get her on the book club this year, but Cheryl said they were booked up, so we're going to try to maybe do it again next year. But as I said before, South Carolina Golf Association has put out what we're doing in Sky Valley in October to all their members. So hopefully that will help South Carolina people know what we have here in Sky Valley. Sky Valley Times, Sharon's doing a great job with this, and as I had mentioned to you before, we would like to use part of that, and so when Sharon sent it out the other day, I went through it and pulled out the pages as we talked about, not a message from the mayor or the city council or road closures or whatever like that. It's fine. It's great to highlight. It's not that I don't like it. So we pulled out, I don't know how many pages, and I sent it right back to her. She sent it right back to me, and it's perfect. And it's got, so we still have the Rayburn County events. What was some of the food stuff you used?
Yeah, recipe,
Get that in there.
poison ivy, several different things.
Yeah. So all that type of stuff is really cool. And that's what we want to try to show to on a different, lighter, fun side to Sky Valley, is let people know about that. And oh, this looks great, and that, Rayburn County. And so we will gather that. She's made it simple where we can just put it in a link and send it out in an email blast. And so we're going to probably start just targeting North Georgia, whatever, Eastern Tennessee, Western North Carolina, South Carolina area, and just start sending that. We're going to do that quarterly. So like I said, it's not really much work on Sharon's part to come back and give us new pages. It was very simple. Like I said, she had it back to me extremely quick. So working on a couple more people to come up this fall. It would just be to play golf and promote through their contacts, and the rooms of food are needed. We will be working with the PGA show as long as Doug's knees are going to work in January, about getting some more new media people here next year, and then also looking to promote Sky Valley, the media room at the show. So that's going to be exciting. And then also we will start promoting the fall festival, people across North Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Tennessee. So, and I did bring this, I didn't put it on that. We started letting you, Howard, I believe, in 20, Georgia had put out a golf magazine. So came up with the idea, because they've been in the magazine business before and wanted to revamp and do some stuff. So it wouldn't be just golf. It would be Georgia Golf and Travel, which is the name of my company, okay? And so this is just a media kit. We started in 20. Well, everything started, even Sky Valley loved what we were doing. And like I said, I think it was Howard that we went through. So we already had people, you know, buying ads, sending us check. Y'all sent us a check already for an ad, and you know, and so, and then guess what happens in March of 20? So we just shut everything down. But the idea was there. We talked to a lot of people, so we're building it back up. We hope to have it ready. This is an old media kit, but we're gonna have different stories. We certainly have something on Sky Valley, but it's not just going to be about the Georgia Trail. It's going to be about where you go, where you eat. The magazine is going to be in like 4 different sections, regionalized from the mountains to Atlanta to the coast, different places. So excited about that. We're working on a lot of the editorial things we're going to use, and we'd like to get this out. What we're shooting for is like a week before the Masters comes out, so like the end of March. This would be in all the welcome centers. Okay, we'll have our own stay-in, because we do work with the Department of Tourism, which manages all the welcome centers. And we will put this all over Georgia. And the different thing about this is it's a one-time print. Okay, so we're gonna print so many, when they're gone, they're gone. But the key thing is we're gonna put this on an online, okay, so people will have our own website, so you can go to it just like you saw that magazine, Golf Central up there. And then if anybody new wants to come in during the year, but we will promote the magazine every month for 12 months, and then we'll start off with a brand new print in 25. So
Is that free or is that with?
yes, ma'am, it's free. Yeah, if you pick it up, it's free. So we're excited about that, because it just opens a lot of doors for us. If we put stuff in the welcome centers, if you go to welcome centers, we already have a big, nice banner that has the trail on it, talks about different things. I'm trying to get Bridgestone involved in it. So I'm working with them right now to see if they can help do some things. But I'm excited about that. Here's one, the latest. This was way back in like 05 for Georgia, and they put this little beauty thing. This thing we're gonna do is gonna be like 100 pages, you know, bound, not stapled. Really nice, classy magazine. I've already talked to the governor and tourism heads of state, and you know, for their endorsements, and they'll put in letters, you know, in the front part of the magazine, like you see sometimes. Welcome to Georgia. So that's what we've been working on, and we'll continue working on. So that is my spiel for this time.
Any questions, comments? I did follow up on what we could do with the South Carolina Golf Association that Women's event.
Yeah.
Is there anything we should get involved with? Because it's coming up, that's next month.
Yeah, in the next month, last weekend. And there's only so many. There's only gonna be like, it's like a Ryder Cup format, which starts tomorrow, you know, for the United States and Europe. Based through the Georgia State Golf Association, and it is in their women's division, okay, which is certain. So I would definitely figure out how we can get, because these people from Georgia, you know, they're not from Sky Valley, they're from all over Georgia, their team. I don't know how they're putting their team together. But we have a contact that I can get you with the GSGA, and we should give out goodie bags, you know, information about Sky Valley, a host. It'd probably turn it over to you guys somehow, and I'll get this lady who's been extremely busy during the summer for the GSGA to let's get somebody from Sky Valley to welcome everybody to Sky Valley. They're going to have one really nice dinner, I think, at the club. And then kind of a softer side, lighter. And that's when they want the author to speak. So probably the first night, maybe, have somebody from Sky Valley, whether it's you or him or anybody.
I'll be there, yes.
Ryan will definitely be there, I'm sure. So,
Jason, when is the Run for the Sun race coming through here?
It's gonna be the 28th and 29th of October, and I think Gordon and I are gonna talk about that and other business.
Okay.
so let's see. 28th and 29th, yeah, that's a Saturday, Sunday.
Number of participants, any idea?
8 and 8.
8 and 8,
Yeah, that's why I'm just small, like
16 girls.
Yeah, 16 ladies, I don't know who all are bringing. But we need to make sure that everybody knows about Sky Valley and what all there is to do and see, and maybe get, the Raven County's, board tourism
Families
people.
that you should, what age? Yeah.
I don't know.
We
Don't know how they
can
pick it.
contact Forward Raven.
Yeah.
Get it out in Forward
Mostly
Raven.
mostly young, I would say.
Yeah.
Certainly can find that out before we get there, if they're, a month away.
Okay.
So this lady I've been working with is just hard, so I've been going back through when we had the GSJ seniors here a couple of years ago. The guy that loved Sky Valley, never had been here and all that stuff, and that's the reason we have this new event, because they came up and loved Sky Valley. And I had asked him, anything we can do here in Sky Valley, please put us down on the list and we'll figure out
Is the
what.
club gonna have signs or signage advertising this or?
Well, so I put us in that fall festival, so we are working on getting some swag and stuff, and that's the week before.
Yeah.
So we'll have leftover stuff, so we can make goodie bags and just put it on the carts.
Yeah.
So they have it, and if you guys have anything you want us to put in there, give it to me, and then we'll just create, because there's only 16 of them.
Yeah.
We'll just, when they set their carts up in the morning for the tournament, we'll put it all in there. Then anything else you want to broadcast out there, just give it to me and I'll.
Might be nice to have a little banner at the Sky Valley.
We're getting that stuff now for the fall festival.
Yeah, that's-
Actually, we bought
That's what I meant by signage,
Yeah.
advertising.
Yeah, we bought a booth, like a pop-up booth with a table and a runner and all that stuff. So we'll utilize that too, so we can put it
Right,
outside.
we usually put a sign at the entrance when we're advertising and stuff, so if you want to do that, you can do that. You won't have to go through the permitting
Okay.
process of the city for $5. We'll let you do it. I'm gonna make money,
Big money.
Big money.
Oh, I did Purple Heart City. We would definitely want to promote this in everything that we do. Okay, from now on, everything, we will, say, we will come out with an announcement to our media people and people that we, not just in John Doe, okay, but people who are VIPs and whatever, know what we deal with. And then everything will be, however we want to say it, Sky Valley, Purple Heart City, whatever we want to come up with.
Thank you so
So,
much.
yeah, no, that's fantastic, and certainly people understand it, so,
Great.
great.
Very good, very happy to see that you've got the new social media.
Absolutely, yeah, I had been turning the corner, trying to do a little bit more, and I'm like, this is just, it's not that it's too much, you just want to really get somebody that knows what you're doing and hit all these people, but then hit, and let people know about Sky Valley and what all y'all are doing, and, so there's many ways that I can understand, but I'm like, man, what do I do? So, I don't know, this is real quick and I'll shut up, but I don't know, on college football Saturdays, they have the Heisman House, and I don't know if any of y'all watch this, and so this new one is Caleb Wibbins, who came from USC or still at USC, he won the Heisman last year. He comes up and he says, yes, there's this, there is the Heisman House, and then you see Tim Tebow in there, you see all these old guys, Barry Sanders and all these, So Caleb's sitting there talking, and 3 former Barry Sanders and George Rogers and one other guy and they walk through the thing and like, oh, we're doing tiki-taki. It's just hilarious, because here's these old guys, they don't know how to say it, they don't know what they're doing. No, they're over there trying to do stuff on this, it's hilarious. Yeah, we're gonna start tiki-taki.
Well, that could be me, 'cause I don't understand social.
Well,
media,
trust
but
me,
I know-
buddy,
I know it's really big, and that seems like a great place to advertise all the great stuff about Sky Valley that the golf articles don't always pick up on.
Well, they were trying to, yeah, and I'm getting a lot of, I told the person at the social media, and I said, we're getting a lot of, because I really have stepped it up over the last few months, okay, doing a lot more, and hey, when you come to Georgia, whatever the message would be, and they're saying, hey, yeah, I've seen your stuff on, Instagram, or,
Cool.
so, there you go.
But this is just the media releases, yeah, that we
We have
have.
we have
Very
city
good.
Facebook and Instagram and all that too. And we don't have tiki-taki though.
That's all.
Thank you, Joe, for the
Yes, sir.
report.
Thank you.
I guess the next item on the agenda is the Stay and Play golf inquiry stuff. We discussed this last week, and we wanted to get the club involved. We just thought the Stay and Play, a lot of this was related to the golf, and of course, part of it is saying where you stay. And the discussion is, I guess, most important thing, and I look at it, is that when we have these inquiries, it's something that address right away. And this isn't the goal. This is stuff that we jump on right away, and then we have to figure out a system how to monitor it and follow it through to its end. And I guess at this time, we'll talk about it. Doug, maybe you can say a little bit about golf inquiries you had, background, and then how the club or maybe CD would get involved at this time. But we essentially want to, come up with a way of handling these inquiries, leads.
Y'all heard me over the years, I've been Brian, Lynn, I have been pushing and trying to figure out how can we do more. We have a travel company that's our travel company that we work with different people like Brian Weiss, who was here in May, who had golftrips.com, and other people. And so we have, if they go to Georgia on his site, let's just say, and you go to the Georgia Golf Trail, and there's Sky Valley, you got all the information about Sky Valley. Well, and then we get an inquiry, and it says John Doe from Timbuktu, and here's his email and phone number, which is great. We have somebody, and they have 8 golfers or 12 golfers or whatever, and we'd like to come November 5th through the 12th. And, we'd like to stay, whatever. But a lot of people don't know what you have: hotel, cottages, homes, whatever. So if we could come up with a program that we can really push Sky Valley to be a more important part of this travel company, then I think we can really push some people through here. But we need to, and Gordon picked up on it, when they send me an inquiry, they're looking at Alabama, they're looking at South Carolina, they're looking at Florida, wherever they're looking at. Okay, so we are getting quite a few inquiries, and we would love for you guys to have it, but we need to have something available to say, okay, here you go. This is what we can do, this can't do. We're not going to try to, we're not going to work with every group and just say, okay, yeah, we'll do this. Well, we need a program that fits, whether it's Monday, Sunday through Thursday, okay? And this is what we have, and that's all we have, whatever it may be. Are we going to use other people's homes, the club, how we feed these people? Or we say, okay, here you go. There's the Dillard House, there's, Julep Farms, whatever. But I think if we could just get a program, put it in a package type deal, and we don't have to do prices, but we need a contact person that we talked about last time. And we're automatically, I get it, I send it to John Doe, and they run with it, and they know to talk to. Here you go. We know 15 people that has homes that like to rent, or other availability, things here. And Sky Valley that we can make money off of. This is not just to appease the people. We want to make money off this. We want to promote Sky Valley. We want to get them to come here. You know, I talked to one guy on the golf course one day, he's by himself, and, no, I mentioned this before, and so I'm friendly enough to ask, well, where are you from? Oh, we're from Oklahoma. We came here somebody kept saying on vacation, and then we bought a home, you know, and okay, well, boom, that's exactly what we're looking for, right there. So, however y'all want to do it, I'll be glad to work with whoever to make this simple. Just think program.
Well, I guess we could go on, let's get to the first up, when there's a lead, so maybe I'll take it. Who should receive the lead? You're sending it out to me, where should the lead go to? And then you get it, and it should be the club of the city, half of the thing, it should be the club. And who in the club should be handling it and following it through? Brian, go ahead.
No, so I had this call, the regional director for Mohawk Flooring in Atlanta. They're trying to do a company retreat up here in May next year, 50 guys or 50 people. 2 rounds of golf, 2 fine dining dinners, and we're working on that right now. But the accommodations is they want to pay for everything in like a blanket payment, not pay here, here, and here.
Yeah.
So I'm in the same situation because I referred them to the timeshares to see if they would be able to host, because they all want to stay together. And I don't know what his response was, he hasn't come back to me.
Don't
So
say-
no, I didn't call the timeshares, I gave him the number to call.
Oh,
because
okay.
I-
So he won't hear from them either.
The
Yeah,
worry,
no,
the worry
it's-
I have, and I'm more than happy to take those inquiries, about the accommodations, it's like, okay, say Roy's house is up for rent that weekend. What happens on an insurance liability if they go there and party or do something that wrecks the house? Who's that on? Is that on the club? Is that on the city? Is that on Roy? Is it on them?
Are you talking about through an
How about
agency?
short-term rentals? or-
Well, yeah, but
That
the thing is, but how do we coordinate it all into one payment?
That-
Because if they say, if they try to get like these 50 guys,
Yeah.
how are they gonna get 10 Airbnbs or whatever in this area all
Get the
close to
money
each other?
first.
Well, yeah, but we can't take the money for. the
Payable to Harry
Airbnb.
Collins?
See, the problem with that is that if we take the money for the Airbnb and then they destroy the house, then the liability's on us. And we don't know who these people are. That's my worry with it.
I don't even think you can rent an Airbnb without paying up front.
Well, yeah, so if we take all the money in advance, like he said, we would have to pay for that, but that would be on our name.
Yeah.
So if they mess the house
I don't
up.
think it's gonna work.
Well, the logistics of allocating all these different people to different accommodations needs to have an expert
Yeah,
coordinator that may or may not be you, Ryan,
well,
unless you don't have anything else to do. So that's the challenge.
I mean, like, at other clubs I've worked at, I was in Hawaii for 5 years, and we did these type of things all the time, but we had hotels there. And we would book packages for golf and food or stuff like that, but we didn't have to worry about the hotels, and the hotels would just cut us a check. Here, I don't wanna have to call certain people every 2 weeks and say, hey, is your house available? Hey, is your house available? And try and coordinate that. That's where it gets a little sketchy.
No question about it.
That's one
So,
reason we're at where
what
we're
about that
at.
winery place on Dillard Road? Don't they have some houses or cabins there?
I don't know
You talk about Tulip Farms?
50
No, the new one.
On Fountain.
Tulip Farms has got cabins also.
I would think if you were able to find some homes that were, you like, these people, that you would be able to log into their VRBO site and, not their actual site, but see who's available on those days. If you had just like 10 houses that
She's
you,
a short-term rental person, so she.
well, I'm
she
just
knows
thinking it would be
what she
easier
needs.
for you
It would be
to
like-
not search the internet for everybody.
Gordon?
Yeah.
My first meeting,
Yeah.
but I've got to weigh in here.
Yeah.
I think this is a great opportunity for the city and the club to support the good short-term rental operators that are in the city itself. I live next to the best one in town, and I'm good friends with the couple who own it. I know that they have the capability of going into their account and blocking
Sure.
their home, whether it's for their personal use or for a friend or whatever it is.
All of them can do that.
So, but to get to that point, I think, and this is probably something the city ought to have anyway, now that I think about it, you need to have a committee of short-term rental operators who are willing to work with the city and the club in this fashion. And then you get this inquiry and you say, hey, look at it, we're gonna have this many people for this period of time. You contact the short-term rental coordinating committee, okay? Let them know about it. And obviously, you have to get short-term rental operators to kind of sign up to participate in this. And so you've got a bunch of, we only have 170 small hotels in the city.
That we know of.
That we know of. And I'm sure that a lot of them
Yeah.
would be willing to basically kind of put their unit into a quote unquote pool. But the idea being there, you would then, if they, contact them and they say, okay, we'll let our members know who's got availability. Now, at that point, you've got to have a handoff for the renters to actually contact the rental owners directly to get rid of all the other issues there.
Well, that's always the issue. First of all, who will handle the initial lead? Call them, okay, got that. And then it's pretty easy to identify when the information on the club, okay, in terms of golf, okay, you can do that. But it gets down to then, by the way, where do we want to stay? Well, we were expecting the people who are the leads to call these people. And I'm saying somehow that part of it, we gotta step into, whoever it is. We just talking about it again. We can't rely on the people, say, well, you go check it out and see. Maybe that's the way we have to do it. You go out and check what housing is available. Is there a way that we can do it all? Can the club do it or someone and say, hey, here's what's available, call
I think we could give
it. Yeah, is that?
the information, if the city would give it to us,
Yes.
as the renters, because I don't know how many, the ordinance is passed, right? So everybody has to be licensed and has to be up to these codes, and we don't have access to that list.
Well, you
But
do,
y'all
but not really.
Yeah, and we don't want to be sending them to some place that doesn't have a license.
This is where you
We're
need
looking at the liability.
you need 2 or 3 short-term rental operators to have a meeting. You need to have a meeting with them and put this to them and say,
Okay.
how can we all work together? You guys have your businesses. And I gotta tell you, the time is right for this. If you haven't noticed on social media, short-term rental operators in Sky Valley, their bookings are down substantially.
Okay.
Now, some people think it's because of the economy, others think it's because of oversupply, but whatever it is, I mean, I'm sure that the better ones would be willing to try to put their brains together and say, okay, how can we improve our occupancy by coordinating with these sort of events that go on?
And you can
this
put
is-
out
this
dates
is-
maybe
it
ahead of
seems like
time.
a perfect opportunity for that group of short-term rental owners
Yep.
to get together and determine, there has to be a few of those in that group that would own this responsibility.
Mhm.
It might be 3 or 4 of them, but they've got a vested interest in their group. And if they would identify themselves as the committee to own the coordination of the 50 people are coming these days, you find them a place to stay and you own it.
Yeah.
That would be, I think, a key communication to that group.
But then they have to be able to pay Sky Valley something, because I'm doing the work to get them here. And that's just part of me. Ryan's gonna give people a call or whatever, anyway, but that's the key. We wanna make money off this deal, not just a promotion.
Well, the city will make money off of the rental hotel motel tax.
Well, that's true.
So what we can do at this point is we're doing the certification application process right now. We're getting it
As
ready.
far as providing the data, the numbers, I actually signed the contract this week. Granicus is a short-term rental monitoring website. They basically scrape the internet every day, 24/7, looking for rentals. They have to customize each database for that community. This is gonna take about 90 days for them to do that. So they're the ones that have identified these rentals. We can provide that information. I think it probably really needs to stop there from the city standpoint, because we are the licensing regulatory. We have the control whether you keep your license or you lose your license from compliance. So I think there's gonna be some conflict if we get involved in trying to do the coordination. But we could certainly provide any of that public record information as far as the numbers, once we get that.
Jason, could we somehow incorporate into the application, would you be willing to work with the club for golf packages?
I would probably defer that to Doug, but I think there may be some issue. Again, being the regulatory side of things, the licensing side, you start recommending or doing this or doing that, I think it kind of puts us in league of some folks that might think we're trying to.
We prefer some over the
Well,
others.
Yeah, the separate, I think that we have to maintain some separation, because we are the ones that issue the license, we're the ones that can pull people's license if they're not doing things right, with council can.
Right.
So, I would caution,
Could
Too
we
much
ask,
involvement.
could we ask the owners as they come in to sign up, would you want to participate with the club? As
we
far
could
as your house,
probably,
contact
as an
line
oh,
or
by the
something?
way, because obviously the city does benefit from this short-term rentals. I mean, I think we could certainly, as they come in and do their licensing, say, oh, by the way, there are entities such as the club.
Or even if they had a rack card or something, we could hand to them, so that it takes it off of us, just we're supplying the information.
And number what?
A rack card, some sort of,
Oh, I thought you said a rat card. I'm thinking a rat.
And, you know, and it's very similar, this is very similar to contractors when they come in and they'll say, can you recommend me a plumber or a roofer? We're the one issuing the permit, we're doing the inspection. We will do that, but typically we'll say something to the effect of, I'm not recommending this plumber, but here's a list of plumbers you may want to call. Ford Raven would be a great example. We've done that in the past. We'll say, hey, can you recommend a good roofer? Ford Raven there, call the chamber. The chamber may be a good partner for this, because obviously they have skin in the game too, because they get 40% of our hotel motel. They may be a good avenue to go to as well, as far as trying to have some of this coordination.
The key to this thing is fast. I dealt with a guy the other day, and usually I don't get involved. I just pass it on to Callaway or Stone Mountain or Grafton or whoever. I don't, because I want them to have they know what they're doing. They get it, they get their address, phone number. So there was just one guy, and he seemed nice on his inquiry. So he was from Illinois or somewhere. I said, well, let me call. I'll just say, hey, where do you want to go in Georgia? Because some of them just say, hey, we want to go to Georgia. Mm-hmm. Well, I just say, no, email it. When he wrote me back and whatever, and I would say, hey, well, you can go here and you can go here and you go there. He wrote me back the nastiest note. I've already got 5, quotes, within whatever. And so these people are looking, not that they're coming tomorrow, because they're not, but they want to there's 15 of them and one guy's in charge, and the rest of them say, you handle it and you tell us where to go and we'll, vote on if this is where we're going to go and here's the cost. And so we're going to have, if this is going to work, this has got to be a science. Now, let me also say, this is not going to explode. Okay. It's going to be real gradual. All right. So I think it's perfect timing. And we can just get a few, like I said, we had 2 nice groups that came inquiries last month again. So, we're not gonna have to just freak out. Well, we gotta get all this. All right, let's start working on it. So whether it's first of the year, we're ready to go, or next spring or whatever, but we gotta have something that's boom, we gotta.
Ryan, if we gave you a list of the short-term rentals and their sleeping capacities and address, would that help out?
Yeah, I just know that a lot of these guys, they want to stay together.
Right.
So like if you get a group of like 18 and you've got 4 at one house on this side of the mountain, 4 on this side, 4 on this side, it just makes it real difficult. They want, that's why I thought the timeshares would be a great idea, because they're all right there and they can, you're close. I know. I'm learning, I guess.
You would think that'd be the perfect thing, right?
Yeah.
Just do it.
Well, I mean, we can get as close together as we can.
Yeah, like I said before, my worry with this is the liability on the homeowner, because my brother works for a startup in Scottsdale, and they deal exclusively with Airbnb and VRBOs. And when people book these places for weekend retreats, work retreats, if there's a bunch of younger guys, they trash them. And I just don't want to be getting the calls like Roy comes back from a weekend and his house was rented and the house is destroyed. You guys are paying for this. That's my worry with this whole thing. If it was a private company or a hotel or a cottage or a cabin, they assume the liability on that. That's my worry with all this. I'm more than happy to do it. I think that we should cater to more of these work retreats experiences, like in our kind of mid off season, before we get heavy into like our member
Well,
stuff
if
in
you
the
have
summer.
it to where the people, whoever's renting it pays actually to the short-term rental place, then your liability is nilch. And I see that's the best way to go at this point.
Did you say this was a Monsanto group?
What's that?
Monsanto?
No, Mohawk Flooring.
Mohawk Flooring.
Yeah, it's their
Mohawk Flooring.
regional director. It's a work retreat.
Okay, number one, that person has to have a high comfort level on what we can do for them, what we can coordinate for them. That's the thing. If we have to raise their comfort level to the peak to say that we can take care of you. Because if we're gonna say, well, you can call us 10 or 12 different people and work things out yourself, that ain't gonna fly.
Right.
They wanna know that somebody's working for them to put this together. And then they can just sit back and not do anything except wait for the bill or the email with the accommodations and whatever.
No, I understand that.
And if they end up trashing a bunch of stuff, we just send the bill to Mohawk for whatever the damages are. And if they don't address it, then we sue them.
Don't we have to have
So,
some kind of liability letter to that
it's
stuff?
real simple. If you just raise the comfort level of the point person that's asking for the
But
accommodation.
not all of those people that are coming up and doing these inquiries are work. A lot of them are just people that are coming up.
Yeah.
But if if you arrange it, they pay where they're gonna stay, and then you take care of the rest, I don't see that that's a big deal.
No, I don't see it as a big deal. I just don't want it coming back on us. And I
If
think
they
you feel the
pay
same
the
way.
short-term rental,
But-
it's not you.
And the other
No.
thing is if you rent out Harry's house 3 times and you ain't rented mine out and we're both members, I'm gonna be pissed. And I'm gonna come and I'm gonna make a stink.
Well, what if
That's
you're,
what we get in.
Well, that's
If he gives them.
That's why we
information-
asked them to have their own committee to
Yeah,
take care of all that.
I don't know that that's gonna work, yeah. Cause of course being on the committee, they're gonna want their
their
places
place will
rented.
be up at the top.
Yeah.
I say, he says, you got 10 people, here's 4 places that'll accommodate
Well, he's
10
talking about
people.
50.
Well, this is just one group.
One group.
Yeah.
And then they decide where
They
they're gonna
contacted
stay.
me directly.
you won't get that. I mean, it'd be very rarely.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get the 2, the 8, 12.
What he told me is that he wants a price for accommodations, dinners, golf. They all want to stay together in the same accommodations, be close to each other, so they don't have to drive far or meet or stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's,
I would guess at this time, we're not ready
We're not
to do
suing
that.
for that.
I'm sorry, if we look at what our target is, that's probably not our target
Well, we
area.
probably are not gonna have everybody signed up and licensed before the end of the year. Correct? Jason?
Yeah, it's gonna take some time, I think we
But I'm
have.
just saying,
It
all
might
right,
be a
he's
good
got somebody.
experiment.
Yeah.
So see if it works.
If it wasn't 50 people, it might be.
yeah, if it's like
If we
4 to
screw it
10
up, they
people.
won't come
Yeah,
back.
it's 4 to 10 people and there's a place that can house that, then that's easy.
That's
Easy.
easy, yeah.
Yeah.
But they'll have to pay on their own, that short-term rental, and he'll take care of everything else.
I mean, Bill's done so much for us. He's done so much,
Yeah.
marketing. And he's got some great, 4-bedroom places and it's got plenty of room. I know he has 4 or 5 places here
Yeah.
in Sky Valley, so. I think it'll work. I think we just need to finally just figure out something and get started and I don't really think it's gonna be that difficult.
Well, you can send me all the requests, and then if Sharon has a list of people, then we can just kind of work together on doing it and see how it works. Let's do it.
Where do those Mississippi Dolphins, they come up every year?
All over
All over.
Sky Valley.
And how many of them are there?
They stay in Sky Valley also.
100 of them, something like that?
About 60 or 70.
60 or 70.
So what we're saying is, okay, the first one, we resolve the issue, the league comes in, the club's gonna handle it, you have to me, it has to have someone that's available most of the time, or has a sense of urgency returning it, so you or.
Yeah,
assign
I
someone
can
to
field
do
the
it.
calls. I just need to know the accommodations, because I don't know enough about anything up here yet to
So we got
send
that.
certain
We'll work
places.
with you,
Yeah.
Ryan.
So you're gonna get, they'll send it, they're gonna send it to the club.
I'm gonna send it to Ryan.
Right, and then
All
at that point, we
information.
gotta work on the initial is housing, okay?
We'll work with them.
Yeah, and the food and the rate is dependent on time of year, time of play, and how many people, so that's all negotiable anyways.
Right.
Can we, I guess with the work of the short-term rentals, Dale suggested, is there a way of trying to work something with them? I think that's something we should look down through. Dale, did anyone step up, or how, you got the list? How do we work with them on this? Should the club approach them, or how do we do this?
I just think Ryan and Sharon will work and see, they work it out. We'll work it out.
Okay. Any questions? Anything like that make sense at this
Just
time?
what you need, Gordon, is a mailing list for all these folks.
Okay,
And I think the city can provide that.
yeah.
Or you go online. We'll work it out with you, Ryan.
Okay.
$5.
You know, a hotel is the idea, put them all together,
But at
but
this point, what does marketing have to do at this point, as it comes in? So
Well, marketing's working with Doug, and he's getting
Yeah,
involved in
he's
a
gonna
lot,
get
so.
Okay.
So what I wanna do, once
Yeah.
we feel comfortable, I wanna push Sky Valley packages more.
Yes.
Once we feel, I haven't pushed, because we don't have anything. So, but when we start hitting the thing again, then, okay, we gotta figure out something. Because it's just revenue that we're, in many ways, could get.
Yeah.
Even-
So are you wanting Ryan to write up a package description? Or the club, or how do you want to do it, Doug?
Let me think.
Well, first we better figure out how to make it work before we
Yeah.
sell it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, and that's what I'm saying, yeah, I wanna get to that point, I'm not gonna do anything.
well, we got a month or two, couple of months. to
Yeah,
work on it.
yeah,
Okay.
Let's roll.
Any other questions on it? Well, okay. Please forget, if you're gonna leave at this point, Ryan's gonna handle it, and we're gonna work on the housing part, and housing is following up. Okay, great. Sounds like the start of a plan. Okay, thank you for getting involved in that. Next item on the agenda would be E7 Gulf. We're talking about Ellen Darty's article, and we talked about it last time, and it was such a good article, one of the best ever. And I know the POA, Bruce sent it out, a lot of people didn't even know what we were doing in the marketing, from people that live in Sky Valley, so, Bruce, you may talk about it, did the POA include it in their newsletter? How did it go?
And I'm not sure I did.
Yeah,
They
Well-
take
They
it
sent
out.
out on their website
yes,
the whole article,
yes,
and so I think that a lot of people did see it.
yes,
The board members were advised to go and take a look at it.
yes,
And so I think people were really impressed by it. Croquet committee, they were forwarded the article, some of them, and so they had an opportunity to see, the publication.
yes,
I never seen, I've read lots of these articles about Sky Valley.
yes,
I've never seen the word croquet used so many times
yes.
in one of them.
Yeah.
You really did it well. Any other suggestions how we can use it in terms of marketing? I know.
It's on our
It's
website.
on our.
Yeah, it's where I pulled it
Oh, here
up.
we are,
There it
it's on our
is, there it
website,
is.
so.
We do it. It's really well written, it really says everything about Sky Valley, the more we can use, this is wonderful, good. Okay, next item on this website update, I'm sorry. Jason and Sharon, bring us up to date.
I will pass that to Sharon. She is really, if you've been on the website as of late, both websites actually, Visit Sky Valley, as well as our social media blast. Sharon's doing a great job of that, so I'll let her briefly talk about that.
Mostly on the Visit Sky Valley page, I've been focusing on festivals and events going on in the area. And then always punching in there that or you're always welcome here, come for a visit, stay for a lifetime, different things that are relevant to people, not just in Sky Valley, but around our area. The Facebook page is always full of events too, and letting them know what's going on here. Right now, we're pushing, of course, the Fall Festival. And there was one more thing I thought we were pushing. Oh, the run is coming. So getting more and more of information out, but just trying to keep it current. And so if people flip it, there's something new there each day.
If you had a chance to look at it, really, she's done a wonderful job, considering what we had, where we're at.
Gordon, can I throw
Amazing.
something in here?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
haven't been talking to Jason for about 2 years now. I would like somewhere in Sky Valley and with some money, which I don't have, to do a huge digital information system. I don't know, post office, I don't know, we've talked
The
about it
ideal
forever.
location would probably be somewhere around the post office pavilion.
Or front entrance or whatever, but I would like a huge digital display that we can put all this stuff on. You know, because no matter how many communication avenues we endeavor to use, invariably, I always get that, well, I don't know about that, and I'm thinking, you know, so,
Where would you put something
I
that
don't
big?
know, that's what we're
Because that would
talking
almost
about.
look tacky, you know, I think so according to the map.
Obviously, we couldn't do it here because everybody goes 60 miles an hour.
Even the
past
buses, yeah.
everything, you know, but, I don't know, that's just something I've got in the back of my head I'd like to accomplish, and I'll be talking more to marketing at that point.
Okay, great. Excellent. Put it on the next meeting. Okay. Visitor center update. Jason and Sharon, go ahead.
We continue to have we actually have a login book now where we're asking people if they will provide us their name, where they're from, et cetera. Continue to have a strong presence of folks just coming in. One thing I haven't talked to the mayor about this, but something to think about. We have cameras here, and of course I get the notifications to my phone. There seems to be a large, ever growing, of course, it's seasonally, people coming up here on weekends. Of course, you know, we're Monday through Friday, so we're not staffed on weekends, other than there be any volunteers. There's a lot of people that are coming here on Saturdays and Sundays. I think they're looking to use the restroom or whatever, because we got the visitor center component. So there may be some lost opportunities there if we had some volunteers that may want to come in and help maybe man the hours. Most questions are, where's the falls? Am I going the direction? Am I going towards Highlands? Is there a place to get lunch or breakfast? But we are trying to bring in new items every day. We're constantly ordering things. We have the Fall Fest shirts out. You haven't got your Fall Fest shirt, go ahead and buy it. We're definitely trying to get that homey feel of the visitor center. So I'll just.
When we first started the visitor center, we did have a group of citizen volunteers that would do it on Saturdays, part of Sundays. I don't know, we can talk about it. See if we can have anybody.
Especially this, coming up this fall.
In the fall, yeah.
Yeah, I just happened to see, again, there's a lot of people that are stopping, and it's sometimes, in fact, sometimes I just wind up cutting notifications off because I get so many Saturdays and Sundays, about every 20, 30 minutes, there's somebody pulling in that's probably because they see visitor center. So just a thought that we probably won't talk
Well, how
about.
about we just have the marketing committee members, they get a sign. Just an idea, Roy, just an idea. Oh, that's
I think
right.
it's a great idea.
Well, but you can be on the committee.
I would.
Do you have a suggestion? No, I think it obviously is a need.
I don't know.
What about this? What about this? What if we had a very obvious, stature thing out there outside the front door that had a place for a number of brochures that said frequently asked questions about Sky Valley. Glad you're here. It's the weekend. We're closed. Here's some answers to frequently asked questions.
I'm sure we can come up with that. I think a lot of people probably just want to use the bathroom.
Well,
I mean, because, I mean, I've actually, the cat,
Bathrooms behind the building.
well, actually, I know this.
First three on the left.
This meeting's being recorded, so I hesitate to say this. We have cameras, I've actually caught people using the bathrooms behind the building on weekends, so. Of course, we delete those videos. Yeah, those videos get deleted, but, y'all putting a porta potty out here, but again, a lot of people that are coming in, they use the bathroom. Oh, they see, oh, we got shirts, we got this, this is the city, we didn't realize this was the city. So it is an opportunity there that we may look at.
City open Monday.
So we had, obviously, it's now, the next month and a half is when we're gonna have a lot of visitors. Any
No, we
suggestions for
We
that?
could bring it up to the POA to see if there's any volunteers we could train to come help us. I mean,
Yeah, somebody has that.
I'm looking at you.
Uh,
I will talk to your president.
Where do we follow up with that? Obviously, the need is now, the next month and a half, so.
Originally, we did have a bunch of citizens, because we didn't have an official.
Do you have a contact or
Well,
someone?
I'll call the president of the POA.
Great, that's
I'll
a.
reinforce it.
Will you reinforce?
Is that a beginning?
Huh?
With that in the minutes?
You put it in notes, it's all right.
Okay. Very good.
I don't mind though, if it would just be less time I was here during the week, I guess. And, because it'd only be like 10 to 2, I'm thinking, wouldn't be all day.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Maybe.
some during seasonal times, those notifications sometimes start about 8 in the morning, they go sometimes till
All right.
4 or 5 in the afternoon, and I know that would be a heavy lift, what you got going on during the week, but if we had some volunteers and they wanna come in, 4-hour shifts, we get 8 hours on Saturday, 8 hours on Sunday. That would be great. I can coordinate with the police department and have the building unlocked and locked back. But just a thought, I do, but again,
I think there would be a lot of people interested in doing that.
there's probably some lost
And
opportunities.
Sharon wants to help, I'll certainly will tell her. Anyway, we'll work that out.
Okay, great, thank you.
We'll work that out.
Okay, next item, the Forward Raven Marketing Board meeting report. Sharon, any updates on that?
We did not meet this week. It was canceled. This month, but we are meeting next month, I know. So.
Okay, so no reports and still meeting. Okay, thank you. Okay, next item is a welcome to Raven County travel guide ad. As you remember from last time, the request came in, they were gonna have this ad, and the ad deadline was September 20th, and we already had our meeting, and this was gonna be an ad for next year, but they needed the funding this year, so I sent out an email, and the board had agreed to it, the majority had agreed to it. So first of all, I want to go in and just re-vote on it, and so, get it official at this point. Any questions in terms of the ad? Look at the ad. It's already been done. It's great. Sharon, you might say a little bit about what it is and so forth.
Just trying to explain that we can live, work, and play here with all the different activities we have, trying to show the splendor of Sky Valley pretty much, because it's all right there.
Dale, it says croquet.
I see that.
International.
Last but not least.
So where will this ad be going? So maybe tell, in terms of Raven County, it'll be going out, the distribution next year.
Yes, it will. This one will go out, I believe it's going to be published in October. I don't know exactly when it'll go out, but the ad will be there. It's a half-page ad, and I think the color part just kind of grabs people.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's very professional. Look at the photography. Yeah, it really jumps out. It's very professional looking. Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions on the ad? Thank you, approve it. So what I'd like to do is go ahead and just make it official. It's already approved by the internet. I'd like to see a motion. It was for $400 for this ad at this point. Is there a motion that first we'll go ahead and approve this ad?
So moved.
Okay, is there a second? Second. Any discussions? I'll say at this point, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Thank you very much. again, I have to give hats off to what Sharon's doing. It's magic what we're seeing on these ads. To me, it's just beautiful, but she handled it incredibly well. Thank you, Sharon. Did really, really well we have. Okay, next item, mountain travel fall ad. Sharon, I know we talked, do you have that available to show them that one?
Yes, there it is. It's more of a fall
Okay, got it. All right.
photography.
There again, it's one that we approved. This is the third ad for the year, going up, a little change on what she's doing. Very well done, colors, everything. Photography, that's one of the reasons having, photography does a better job, the images and so forth.
I will say that the calendar contest is going on. We're getting so many great pictures. So if y'all, for publication also, for publicizing, that they are wonderful. But while you're here, we need votes on those pictures. So go on Facebook and vote for your favorite pictures, because we do plan to put out a calendar for 2024 based on the photos we get with the amounts of likes they
What's the
get.
Facebook address, Sharon?
That's a great.
Well, we had two.
But that's not on, it's only on one.
I know, it's.
You gave up.
This is-
Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
ours, yeah.
You got too complicated.
Facebook ad right there. I mean, there's our Facebook. It's coming.
Good. Okay, next item, I know we're running a little late here. We'll go into the budget itself. Skyway marketing budget, we are in good shape. We've got about $4,000 so far that's allocated at this point. And based on what Jason sends to me, and I will be looking at the budget for next year. And I'd like this in the POA, and if you would try to give us a handle in the club, what we have. There's a lot of exciting things going on here, and I'd like anything merge up if we can in terms of your contributions into it. So
Scroll down a little bit more.
that shows what we're at, 8,000. What you're gonna see, when all expenses are taken, we're still gonna have an area of around roughly $4,400 So there's some expenses there, so. I'm okay with that.
If you scroll up, when y'all did the budget this year, we actually, it's very simplified, but it's like, we have line items, as you can see.
Right,
Communications, the advertising, services, we have some other contingencies, et cetera, but as you can see, what's left, communications, and then there are some things. The advertising is actually overspent, however, you have surplus and other line items that you can pull from, if we need to do a intra-fund move, but of your budget, there's about 8,000 now left that you can spend. But I would say probably close to about 4,000 of that is committed to stuff that you've got to spend for the rest of the year.
so at this point, looking at it, we're in really good shape, where with things that come up, we still have some money, we watch it very closely, I think we're not throwing money away. At this point, we have some needs next year, I wanna look at it, but at this point, looking at what the POA can come up with and contributions, I know it's a sort of hard number, so we wanna know, so we can set these expenses in line, what we want, and of course, the club, I mean, what can we, I know you've done this year, you've been very generous on it, what can we expect so we can do this planning? This year, we're really, first time, we already put the budget ahead of time, so going into the year, it was pretty neat, we knew what we're doing. Hopefully by December, we got this all approved, so we know what we're doing next year. Tim?
Gordon, I don't know if ask you or Jason, do we get to carry over the 4,000?
Well, I mean, this money is in the marketing checking account, so.
Okay,
So to give you an example, you have approximately $11,000 in the checking account, but you have about $8,000 in the budget. So you have those differences. So whatever that you don't spend, let's say you end of the year, you have $2,000 less. Well, now you have that 2,000 plus the differences in the checking account that would be possibly for next year, or all the way whatever the council approves as the final budget for next year. But yeah, there's carryover that can be used for next year's budget. That's the question.
Thank you.
Thank you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, okay, great, thank you, Mark, that's great.
Tea time?
Okay, yeah.
No, save a marriage, get Suzanne to a certain spot. Then tea time. Okay, I guess.
Great, well, we're getting along here. Okay, the next item. Thank you, so,
When did your board come up with what your donations will be
okay,
for next
thank
year?
you.
Already started working on the budget.
Okay, so y'all, could you all let the city know ahead of time, before January?
Yeah,
That would be great. Thank you.
She's, I haven't seen her.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And we will talk to the POA
Yeah.
about doing the same thing.
Okay, all right, I know we're running here. Let's talk about photos, videos we could shoot. I guess the fall festival, who's gonna be the local photographer on that? I know you had mentioned someone.
I just, the last meeting or so, I don't know. Y'all have somebody,
I mean, there's so many local people that do photography. I'm sure that there'll be people that ever read between Moody and
and Moody was.
everybody else. I mean, there's,
I
I missed the last meeting as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you had mentioned, Mayor, that you have someone that would do it regardless. Is that,
Well, it was Era, what's her name?
Pierce, maybe?
Is she doing it?
She sent in a paper that said she's doing dog photography, I
She did
believe.
dog photography.
yeah,
I know Moody said he would do drone. I don't know, I will talk to the chairman and get back to you.
yeah, we do have money set aside in terms of the professional services for, in our budget for photography. That was part of Kingsburg. So under that was, we have to pay whatever amount of money, I think $500, whatever, to get professional work. So if we have someone that's really good,
Well,
we should do it.
okay,
And
we
there is
can't
money.
vote on anything now because you don't have a forum, but we certainly can discuss it, yes.
Yes, right, good.
Thank you. Well, I will pass that on to Bruce, who is the chairman
Okay,
of that
Does that make
particular
sense?
event.
yeah, good, okay. In terms of dahlias by the lake, was there any, I know, does anyone know any photo they're supposed to take? I guess the garden club was gonna take some shoots.
Oh, they
Yeah,
did,
they do, and.
and they did, and
They
they
did?
put it out.
Oh, they did. Do we have that at all, Sharon? Do we get any of that
I
for
haven't
our
seen-
use? So
You
that-
could get from that from, oh gosh,
Diesel,
D. Ballmer.
people,
And, they entered a competition in Highlands and they were very successful and, yeah, in winning certain categories, really great showing.
Could some-
So if Sharon gets hold of Dee,
Yeah, we, in terms of, we could have, what
Absolutely.
we could use it in terms of our advertising. Great.
Mhm.
Okay, send it on. Could you
I
work
mean,
that out
they
with
had a
Sharon?
band and a dance, and it was very nice.
Very good, terrific. Excellent. Okay, Scott, right on Scott Valley Fall Festival, Jason, maybe bring us up to date now.
We've had several meetings. In fact, we have probably maybe our last meeting, the 10th of October. The special projects, that will be at 10 a.m. here in this building. We have a lot of planning going into effect. Well, we've got, in the process of securing 2 shuttle buses that will, I think 15 passenger vans that will take people from place to place. I know there's been a van secured. We're working with the CDC to try to help them boost their Wi-Fi there for the vendors. Can they do, when they do their sales? As we've sat here, I've watched a couple of our city trucks go by with hay bales. We're getting everything, beautification in place. That we've got about 45 hay bales that are fixing to be put up first of next month. That's with the hay bale trail, but that all kind of goes in together. The Fall Fest, we've got porta potties, we've got food trucks lined up. It's
Dog contest.
yeah, so it's shaping up to be
costume run.
a big event. You should start seeing the signage going up, next week. We've got our fall banners out now. We've got a big crasher that we put out on 246 that talks about Fall Fest. We'll have the signs up, the guys will put that up, and then, again, we've got our shirts that we're selling, $25 each. We're gonna be really pushing that hard starting next week to get those sold. And so, I suspect weather accommodating, it's gonna be bigger than ever. We have hay rides, we'll have, two tractors going, doing the hay rides, probably I'll be on one. And then, one of our other employees will be on the other one, but, it should be a big crowd.
I
Big
know your
event.
committee, we involved in that committee, Ruth, that's really a lot going on, lots of detail, a lot of planning, a lot of time being put into it, yes. Great, great. Did you get a chance on Hit List Media, Bill, show what we've done here on Hit List Media for the,
I've seen the ad, Gordon. I mean,
Yeah.
I texted the restaurant,
yeah,
a week or so ago, and I saw the ad on the crawl.
yes.
It's nice, it's,
Oops. Not anymore, I just archived it. But I have it somewhere else. so.
Right. We're gonna show it to you, so that's been going out since, yes, certain
When
restaurants.
you talk about the videos
At
in
the
the
video,
restaurants?
yes.
Oh,
Yes, there we are,
if you got it? Oh,
Yeah, great.
okay, I'd like to see it.
yeah.
It's,
You have to go to the
Really?
restaurant.
Yeah, you have to go to.
Yeah.
the
You
restaurant
have to buy a meal.
But I can speak a little bit about the hit list. There's, several of the local businesses, restaurants, they have the TVs in the corners.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just scroll over.
That
Right.
lady lives here, it's got.
And, I did, in fact, I ate lunch with the guys a couple weeks ago, and one of them actually said, hey, look, that's in Sky Valley, so
Yeah.
people do see those things, and I said, yeah, it does, so,
Yeah.
Kind of like a billboard on highway.
yeah.
In the restaurant.
Harder to move forward. Especially when waiting for a table, I get the rusty bike.
Yeah. This is the one we're talking.
Yeah, yeah.
We approved it and we went to, they had two different areas, Raven 1, County 1, and Raven 2, County 2, and we selected Raven 2 for the restaurants in that area. One would be Winkers Barbecue, and that's where I happened to see it myself.
She didn't give a, you got it, you saw it in Oyster?
Yes, I saw it in
She didn't give us a
Oyster.
break.
Can you
Yeah,
see it?
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, okay, so that pops up on the TV. Yeah.
And
Good.
that's the short,
And you had seen it, Daniel?
there's two, I think, there's two different.
There's our Facebook ad, 1978, now that's the city, probably next time we'll put the visit up, but that.
It does rotate, there is some other areas on that, there's more than one image you'll get on, it rotates a couple different areas, but yeah, we'll see how it works out, right? Thank you for the, promotion, we'll see it. Okay, the hay bale trail, and, you talked about, when are they gonna be sending out?
We, the week of the 11th, well, actually, the week of the 9th, which is Columbus Day Monday, we have that work set, we have that special projects on the 10th.
Yeah.
11th, 12th, and 13th, which should be
Okay,
Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the hay bales will be going out.
okay,
We have approximately 45, I think there's 29 individual, is that right, Sharon? 29?
Yes.
39, great,
Some of the hay bales, some of the participants will have more than one round hay bale. They'll be going out, we'll be putting the base coats on, we have those.
okay,
And we're asking people, as soon as their hay bale puts out, we'll put their sign out and go ahead and decorate them.
okay,
Where we would like for everything to be done probably by the 18th or 19th,
okay,
which would be that next Wednesday or Thursday. So that everything's in place for Fall Fest the 21st.
okay.
But in fact, I'll have, I know we have your sign, my daughters are actually gonna do one for you, Doug.
Well, I told you not to worry.
Well, but they wanted to do it,
It's
so,
gonna be your.
in fact, well, you know, we already have,
Lord,
we already have
everybody
the-
home.
we already have the sign, so we,
Yeah, I know, I appreciate that.
but it will be something golf
Oh, they
themed.
like it.
But I just wanted to share that.
Well, they did a great job last time.
So that, but they're looking forward to that, and I took one of my daughters.
So let me know and I'll pay you.
Well, just.
I'll pay you. No problem.
Well, one of them will take candy bars, but anyway. But anyway, University Road is getting bigger and bigger. I know we have Oklahoma, Michigan State, Florida, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, so that just gets bigger and bigger every year.
Cool.
Yeah,
And, so we will be doing one here in City Hall, police will do one, and so anyway, I could go on and on, but I'll stop there for the sake of time, yeah, it's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mark, I have to say,
Yeah, I know, yeah.
the marketing committee entry, we have a bunch of ladies that are working on it, yes. So, I've always said, who's gonna step up, and
Well,
they're.
Ken Walton says this is gonna be best, because he even has electricity.
Oh, that was Ken.
I had no
Oh,
idea.
okay, wow. Okay, very good. All right, now we're down to other business, and I want to get it here. Dale's here. Dale wants to talk a little about the Georgia Mountain Cup.
Well,
Dale.
you told me I needed to come and talk about the Georgia Mountain Cup.
Yes.
So back in April, I was at the Peachtree Hills Place in Atlanta, in Buckhead area. So article was about them having the first sanctioned golf croquet tournament in Georgia ever. Now, whether that's true or not, I've gotten mixed reviews on, but nonetheless, they got a lot of press for that. And I thought, well, if there aren't that many tournaments in Georgia, why don't we have one? And why don't we call it the Georgia Mountain Cup? And why don't we do it? And this also came up when I actually called the guy in charge of croquet at Peachtree Hills. And it was the middle of summer, it was hot. They weren't playing because it was too hot. And so that also kind of contributed to the idea of why not have almost like an invitational, although it won't be, but a tournament in Sky Valley at the end of July, targeting the other croquet clubs, primarily the other croquet clubs in Georgia. There's two in Atlanta, there's one in Carrollton, there's one in Jekyll Island. Actually, there might be three in Atlanta, because the Atlanta Athletic Club might have croquet club. That'd be our kind of like target market, so to speak, although really we'll focus on anybody, Atlanta and South. With the idea being, come to Sky Valley and enjoy our, what temperature, 72, is that what we promised?
Or lower.
Okay, 72
Yeah.
degree weather,
Yeah.
even in July.
We're live.
Right, and I actually had a chat with him while I was waiting to play croquet, and he was talking about how hot it was, and it's like, well, it's really nice here right now. So anyway, that's the kind of the genesis of this thing. It'll be small, a 2-day tournament, probably only 12 players. I mean, in golf, that sounds like nothing. But the reality is, we only have 2 championship-sized lawns, and you can only have 2 games going on each lawn. You do the math, okay? If you have more than 12 players, then you have a week-long tournament. You can do 12 players in 2 days, where you have essentially a round robin pool. On day 1, you get 24 games in, and then you finish it off the next morning, and then you have the finals in the afternoon. We don't have a
Would
split.
you be in charge of setting up the places to stay, then, Daniel?
Well, that's one of the issues that we obviously have to address, is where are people gonna stay? And we want to introduce the croquet people to the beauties of Sky Valley. It'll give us a lot of press. I mean, I should have come better prepared by sending stuff to Sharon in advance, but as an example, this is the Croquet News. It's a quarterly publication of the United States Croquet Association. It goes out to all their members. And here we have on page 10 and 11, a nice spread for Peachtree Hills Place Croquet Club hosts Georgia Cup tournament. And of course, a very nice article along the lines of what you see in the golf magazines and things like that. Oh, by the way, we are actually in this particular issue. We're on page 32, where we won the Sky Valley Croquet Club. Entered into the National Croquet Day contest, and we were awarded a prize for the biggest group shot. We actually had 76 people at our opening season event, the first Wednesday in June. And anyway, there's a lot of publicity that can come from that.
Did you have a date for that?
We do not have a date
Okay.
yet. We're thinking end of July, because we're thinking that will be the hottest time period
Okay.
in our target market. Yeah. More likely to, if they remember this summer, they'll plan for this summer. Also, I've learned that apparently there's no a sanctioned tournament, by the way, is one that has a stamp of approval from the United States Croquet Association. And the games played count towards calculating handicaps and things like that. Now, to have a sanctioned tournament, you actually have to have a registered referee. That's gonna cost us some money to have a registered referee, someone who's been trained and certified by the USCA. And so that's one of the reasons we think we'll actually get a lot of interest, probably more than 12 people will want to be playing. We may do this as a team tournament where we have 12 teams of 2, or it might be singles, not sure yet. We may end up with some people from North Carolina, just because there's no sanctioned tournaments, and serious players want to play in sanctioned tournaments, because if we both have handicaps, I beat you, my handicap goes, I don't even know if it's down or up, and yours goes the other direction for that. It's kind of that after initial thing like that ranking. So that's important to people. This happens a lot more in Florida in the summertime or in the wintertime. They have lots of tournaments down there, but there just aren't many tournaments up here. So we're still in the conceptual stage, but I was told I should talk to Gordon about it, so I did, and Gordon said you should come to the marketing committee and talk about it, so now I have.
And I missed it, how did it become sanctioned?
Okay, so it's actually pretty simple in a way. There's a form that you have to fill out. You have to send the USCA $10 for every player in the tournament, and that's for them to do the bookkeeping on the handicap calculations. But the key thing is having a certified referee. Without a certified referee, it's not a sanctioned
Do
tournament.
you have to pay for that?
Most of the referees charge, however, we do have a line on a certified referee in the area who apparently right now likes doing it. And maybe he's trying to build his resume, but if I can line him up soon enough, maybe we can get that for free.
Do you have a line item budget from the club to do all this with?
No.
Okay.
We're in the budgeting process right now. Actually, this should pay for itself. I mean,
Okay.
the typical fees for these, a low end tournament is $200 or $250.
Okay.
Is the entry fee
Per person or per
Per
team?
person?
per player.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, that may pay your salary.
That's gonna be more than $5 in your pocket.
Well, but you say about it, so that's basically $3,000.
Yeah.
The referee could cost us $1,000.
Yikes.
Okay, and then you have to provide other kind of things for free.
So you have
However,
to go to their board, to the club's board and do all this too?
I think I probably need board approval before we actually make it official, yeah. Obviously, the 2-day tournament, meaning people come in the day before, we'll probably have practice available for them the day before, which means they'll be here for at least 2 nights, probably 3, which means they're gonna have to eat someplace. We're thinking about doing this as a weekday event rather than weekend, so that
So they
Club.
eat at the club?
they eat at the club, yeah.
Okay.
So-
How long will you keep this job?
I just bought a house yesterday, so I'm kind of locked in.
Okay, you're lucky. That's good. Thanks,
Congratulations.
No,
So,
I'm Frank.
Any questions?
no,
Any other questions?
I'm sorry, I'll stay with it.
so in terms of marketing, I think this is obvious kind of thing we want to try to start out. What do you think of marketing of this? How can we help with this? Do you like the idea of marketing supporting this type of thing?
Yes.
I think we need to support
Yeah,
all the
nice.
recreational activities up here.
Pardon me?
We need to support all the recreational.
Yeah.
activities.
Yes,
And we
yes.
advertise croquet.
Something we could definitely get behind.
So I guess at this point, how can we, I guess, if they're looking at it, we certainly, this is something Perk Marketing certainly approves. How can we support it at this time? When can we do?
I have to think about that. Now,
Okay.
I've actually attended a couple of meetings via Zoom, this is the first one
Yeah.
in person. Let me consider that. I mean, example, the stay and play.
Yes.
As I was sitting there, I was thinking, stay and play. It's the same challenge for something like this.
Yes.
They're working on their budgeting and then they'll get with
Yeah,
the
great,
board.
great.
and get with- yeah,
So this is
get with-
something we'd be looking at, 2004, right? That's 224, yeah, right, yeah,
July 2024.
yeah, okay.
Do we need to set up a grandstand or something like that?
You know,
Are we
I-
gonna have spectators lining
what I see, I've watched a lot of tournaments on YouTube, and typically you don't. I mean, one of the best places to watch a croquet tournament, if you ever get a chance, is Sapphire Valley.
Uh-huh.
If you've ever been to that club, they have a covered area that looks out over they have two full-size lawns like we do, they're separated a little bit, and one of them is right there, and it's like you're, in a skybox. It wasn't, I don't think it was intended to work out that way, because you have a nice view of the valley and everything else there. But at most tournaments, people just bring chairs and sit around the outside of the croquet.
Well, I think Roy should build you a skybox myself.
I second it.
If anybody will go up and sit in some of my fields, we can.
Well, I had it, yeah, not you.
Okay, Dale, thank you, Dale, and he'll follow up with it. The last item on the agenda here was added, a Sky to Summit, trail run. Jason, maybe you just brought it up.
Yeah, I'll be very brief.
Yeah,
The mayor and I gotta get to Clayton here in a
Yeah,
minute
yeah.
for 12 o'clock meeting for Raven. Can you pull that up, Sharon, that Sky Summit? This is actually a big event that, it happens next month, the 28th and 29th, I believe, the last Saturday, and Sunday in October. Talked with Sean Bland, who organizes that this morning. It is sold out, 250 participants on, Saturday, 150 on Sunday. So there's 400 participants total, do the 25K or 50K run. Probably as many volunteers and spectators that come with that. They're coming from 25 states, including Canada. Huge exposure every year. They do a great job of marketing that themselves. I know in the past, the city has made contributions to help with like some of the hospitality things, bottled water, snacks and things like that. Anyway, this is coming up next month. I know we'll have another, I can't really make a decision, ain't have a quorum, but you will have another marketing meeting before this event, the right before. But anyway, this is just another huge exposure for the city, a positive way to the city of here. And just wanted to just share that with that coming up. And I talked with Sean today. He said anything that we want to do to help market that, that's great. But you know, just
Are they gonna do the dinner thing again?
we didn't really get to that point, but I just want to say if it was the pleasure of this committee to be so inclined, that might be a very worthwhile bang for your buck way if there were to be any kind of donations to help them with that, because again, you probably have 1,000 people here that are coming in for that.
It's the same weekend.
And they're staying, I don't have the metrics, but I do know that they're staying, they're doing their short-term rentals involved. Did you say, Sharon, that a year or two ago, somebody
If somebody was there.
stayed at your house that was there? So I don't know the numbers, but we do know obviously these people are staying short-term rentals. So again, just want to share that very quickly.
Well, I think it's a great exposure, the kind of stuff that I think is Sky Valley should be really to play healthy, kind of stuff, right in our backyard, right? I'm all for it.
It's a different look entirely than we
I
had.
apologize.
Yes.
Yeah,
So, okay, I
Thank you,
know
Mayor.
the planning is, our next meeting is, we're looking at Thursday, October the 26th. Does this work out? That's the last Thursday, I always have it. Okay on that?
I think I'm out of town until the 29th, but.
Did you ask Debbie if you were?
Yeah,
Did you ask Debbie if you were?
yeah.
Debbie knows.
Okay.
Final item, so we'll look at that unless I get objections the last Thursday. All right, getting down to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn the
Very
meeting.
good. Second. Thank you. Sorry for the lengthy meeting, but thank you. Brian.
I gotta go.
Right.